If your cruise stops in Hilo, you may be wondering whether Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is something you can realistically do on your own, or is it better off to take a tour? Hi, welcome back to Bon Voyage Cruise and Travel, your go-to source for all things cruise related. I'm Bonnie, and after more than 56 cruises, I have learned that some ports are surprisingly easy to explore independently, while others are better left to organized tours. But for this stop in Hilo, I decided to skip the cruise excursion and do Volcanoes National Park on my own. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how I got there, what it cost, what I was able to see during a cruise port day, and whether I think this is a realistic option for cruise passengers. I mean, Hilo Cruise Terminal, you just walk straight out and you follow this crosswalk, and it will lead you out to the street, and that's where you can pick up an Uber. As we made our way to the airport to pick up the rental car, I started thinking about why I had chosen this option in the first place. Price-wise, this was about $60 to rent the car, $13 for an Uber each way. There's two of us, so the total cost would be what, 26 is like $86, and then we happen to have free entry into the park, so you have your entry fee as well, which is around $30. It's still way less than a tour costs for two people, so it's worth it. I know the shore excursions can run anywhere from $150 to $250. I've seen it that expensive, so it's nice for a change to just do something on your own leisurely, because we have here till 6:30. We started around 10 a.m. This was actually much easier than I expected. Hilo's airport is very small, and after the Uber dropped us off, the rental car counters were directly across the street. Within just a few minutes, we had picked up our rental car and we were ready to head toward Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. It is about 84 degrees here in Hilo. They're having a heat wave. We got a black car for our rental. It's a little warm. What really appealed to me was the flexibility. I wanted to decide how long to spend at each stop. I could visit the lava tube if I wanted to, and not feel like I was on a group schedule. At this point, I still wasn't sure how easy the logistics would be, but I was about to find out. It's about a 29-mile drive to the park. If you're comfortable driving at home, I think most cruise passengers would find this drive very manageable. And once we were in the car, it was simply a matter of turning left and driving toward Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. The route is straightforward, and before long we were leaving Hilo behind and heading toward the park. So a private vehicle is $30 for entry fee. And an annual pass is $55. One thing I found especially helpful was the park map. It doesn't just show where everything is, it gives you suggestions based on how much time you have available. And that especially is useful if you're visiting from a cruise ship. It tells you, it tells you exactly what to do for the amount of time you have and where it is. So pick one of these up at the front when you pay. Since I already visited the visitor center and steam fence on a previous trip, I decided to spend more time driving Crater Rim Road and visiting the Thurston Lava Tube instead. And the weather is a lot cooler here. It's probably 70 instead of 85. So it's nice. It's breezy. It's nice. But anyway, this is old lava from 1974. One thing I liked about doing this independently is that you can build the day around your own interests. We tried to fit in the botanical garden, but by the time we arrived, we really didn't have enough time to do it justice. Another option would have been to spend that extra time exploring downtown Hilo or visiting the local farmers market instead. That is the advantage of doing it yourself. You can decide what matters most. I think this is a great option if you're comfortable driving, enjoy exploring independently, and like having the flexibility during a port day. It can also make sense for couples or families because many of the do-it-yourself costs are shared. But if you'd rather have transportation arranged for you, you want a guide to explain the park, or you don't want to think about timing and logistics, then a tour may be your better choice. So if driving doesn't sound like the right fit, I'll leave a Viator option in the description below. When I checked, it was less expensive than the cruise line excursion, and it did include the national park and a black sand beach. So that's another option worth comparing. We went to the Thurston lava tube, and that was nice. You have to watch your step. There's some steps to go down. It is dark. You might want to bring your phone or a flashlight so you can see. There is some sporadic lighting. I mean, it's random lighting in there so you can see. It's a little wet. That's what you think a cave would be like, but it's out of lava. So that was interesting. This is how it looks. You have a little bit of stairs to climb. Not too bad, but it gets really dark inside. This is a whole lava tube. It's pretty cool. I all of a sudden entered, there was no one here, and all of a sudden there's maybe 50 people. And we saw some other interesting craters in the area, took some drive. There's like lava everywhere from all these different lava flows from 1974 and on. But we did see the steam vents once before. We did see the Kilauea outlook before, so we didn't go back to that this time. But it was fun day. We're still on it. Now we're heading off. It's around 2:10, and so we've been doing this for about 3 hours, and we're going to be going on to a botanical gardens that's nearby, and then I'll be showing you some of that. She said it takes about 90 minutes to do, and it costs $35 per person. It looks really beautiful, and they have a path all the way to the water. And we were going to go into here, but it really looks beautiful, but we just can't make it because we're running out of time. But this is quite a ways in. 5-tier waterfall, ocean views, 2,500 plant species. It's called Hawaii Tropical Botanical Gardens. And it definitely would be worth coming back to. I really want to visit this. So, can you easily visit Hawaii Volcanoes National Park on your own from Hilo Cruise Port? I think the answer is yes. The logistics were easier than I expected. I was able to see several highlights comfortably during a cruise port day, and for independent travelers, it is a very realistic and affordable option. At the airport waiting for our Uber, it was $13 to come to the airport. To go back to the ship, Uber has surged to $28. So it was $100 to do this. We did get to the botanical gardens the opposite direction from where we were coming. So it was a beautiful drive. There's some really nice parks around and nice beaches, and there's lots of things to kind of stop. There's downtown Hilo that had a food market, and today's Thursday. Could have done that, but we just ran out of time. I would start out early if you're going to do this, but it's worth it if you're more than one person. Even if you're not, it kind of is more leisurely, and it's not a hard drive. It's been my pleasure showing you around Hilo and what it has to offer and what I did in my do-it-yourself shore excursion of my own. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe for more practical cruise tips and travel information. I also have a playlist with more Hawaii cruise videos if you are planning a visit. Thank you so much for watching. Happy cruising, and I'll see you next time.